Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or on my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I'm a little bit late this morning on this Monday morning. It is a holiday, so happy Labor Day. So I took a little bit of extra time with myself this morning, gave myself permission, if you will, to just kind of lounge before I went into meditation and then to lounge after I was in meditation. So this week's energy update, very interesting, I will say. Oh, hi there, Wes. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up and waiting for me to come on this morning, Wes. Hopefully, we have a few others that will join us. If not, the replay will be here for everyone to come on in. And oh, come on in. There you go. Come on in and have a seat. It's a lovely holiday Monday here. And like I was just saying to Wes, I needed a little bit extra time this morning just to kind of chill and just to kind of be both before meditation and after meditation. So what did I pick up this morning with my spirit guides with the channeling? Some very interesting things came up, and I actually sat there and processed it a little bit longer than normal as well, because it really had this ground zero energy. I felt like I was landed on the moon. I'll be honest with you, and that's exactly how it felt. It felt like I was just in this different space. I felt like there was like this new space that we're coming in from many of it. For many of us, this week might feel like a ground zero, like back at the beginning, back at like it's almost like I thought, what are we going backwards here? But no, it was like we've had this clearing of energy and some space and some things that are been going on around us for the last several months, and this week, it feels like we're just literally turned the page back at a new beginning. And that kind of made a lot of sense because I think it was last week or maybe it was the week before. I felt like we were coming into that New Year's Eve, that new beginning. And I had a huge aha moment when I was sitting there, even for myself. And new beginnings can bring in a whole bunch of feelings and emotions. So you may go through a few things this week of, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I don't even feel like this planet, this universe is where I'm supposed to be. It's gonna have a very unique, different feeling. And with the startup of kids going back to school, it's kind of gonna add into that a little bit. A lot of fresh starts, a lot of new beginnings. But what we kind of are gonna kind of like simmer through a little bit of is leaning back into that old space where things are familiar, and the universe is giving us a big push with no, 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 no. You got it's time for that shift. It's time for that change. It's time for embracing all that. And some of you may already be in a little bit of a middle of some of this, if whether it be a new job or new relationships, or new place to live. You may already be a step or two ahead, and it's going to have this feeling of stillness and calm. But what we often react to, because we're so used to that busy pace, we're so busy of things always happening around us. What spirit said to me very loud and clear is sit in the stillness of new beginnings. Sit in that stillness and feel into that just for a little bit longer than perhaps what you've done in the past. And what was really interesting with me is I kind of had this huge aha moment with, we don't always have to be filling that space and always have to be doing something or taking things on. And we're coming into a bit of stillness. It's almost like things are going to slow down a lot earlier than what they have. And I'm going to be really interesting to see how early winter comes this year, because I felt it really connected to seasons as well. I was suddenly just aware of the season. We're just coming into that slow down space a lot sooner than what we're used to. And it's been really interesting energetically when you think about what's going on in all the pieces all around you. Now, the other thing that came up for me, and I really sat there for a little bit of time and felt into this, is our relationship with abundance. And now the word abundance, is all, all has different meanings for many of us. It can be an abundance of that stillness space as well, or an abundance of things that are coming into us, or what we're wishing we had an abundance for. And our relationship with that is going to kind of present itself with, how do you feel with that? Are you feeling that worthiness? Are you feeling that appreciation? Are you feeling that gratitude? There's going to be a very significant piece to that, and it might be an abundance of sunshine, right? It might not necessarily be an abundance of physical world things, but the abundance of spiritual things is pulling into that as well. And you're going to be pulled to sit in there. Oh, some comments on my braids. There, and you know what was really interesting was I got up and got myself, ready and showered before I go into meditation. And I had this interesting desire to braid my hair, and it's something that I don't do. Like hardly ever do I braid my hair. And after I did my meditation with this whole new beginning in this new space, I kind of got an aha moment. I even felt the need to do something very different with my hair. My hair is either in a ponytail or it's down because I don't do much else with it. But I felt this shift this morning to do something different with it, which is very interesting with that new beginning piece. And as I kind of sat there with myself, I really felt this inspiration pull, but I also felt the abundance of spirit. There's going to be a huge abundance of spiritual energy from within us. So that deeper connection to your higher self, that deeper connection to like-minded people, that deeper connection, the abundance of what's right in the world with what's glorious all around us. And we are going to feel like never before this push away from everything else. And it has an incredible new feeling to it, but it's going to feel very much. I felt like I was walking on the moon. It's like, oh, this is it. Like that's the best word I can describe it. Is it just felt so different. So don't be surprised if you're feeling very different coming up this week, or if you're not already, where you just want to try different things, go different places, meet different people. Perhaps it's going to be something a little bit along the line of I've never read a book on, this is just an example. I've never read a book on past lives, or I've never read a book on astral travel. I feel this pull into more of that space of there's something new for me to learn, and you don't have to resonate with all of it, and you're going to be very much okay. I felt a lot of shoulder shrugging. I just felt a lot of, yeah, that's good. Nope, that's not for me. But it had a very different twang to it. It had a very different energy. Now, I want to go back a little bit for a moment on this whole um just feeling a different location, feeling a different space, a different version of yourself. It's going to feel very much like you're walking on another planet. And I chuckled to myself when I was sitting there with my guides. I'm like, I'm not quite sure how to move my body in this new space that we're coming into. And it's very much okay, you're learning to walk again. And that may be the space that you're at. Now, how we interpret that is going to be very, very important. So let's just say, for example, you got a new job and you're not quite sure on how to navigate through that, giving yourself the opportunity to experience it. And that's going to be a big thing because we always pull in fear, we always pull in that uncertainty. We will, we tend to naturally lean into, anxiety or worry or whatever that's going to be. It's the same thing with relationships that are changing, or perhaps starting or ending, is giving yourself time to feel out that new moonwalk you're going to do. And that's the best way I can describe it, is it's going to feel like you've landed, perhaps for some of us very suddenly, in this new energetic space. And just kind of sit in that stillness and feel that inspiration, and allow yourself to play in there a little bit with a little bit of moonwalking, if you will. I'm actually going to try, I know, just kind of, that dance move, the moonwalk. I'm actually going to try and be a little bit playful with that new energy as new things come in, because we are going to be entering that space. And perhaps, like I said, maybe some of you are already in that space. Perhaps you've moved recently, or a new relationship recently, or ended. Michael Jackson moonwalk, yeah, there we go. So I feel that, and just kind of remember that I said it, right? So for some of us it might be a week or two, or perhaps a little bit longer, or perhaps you're experiencing that this week. The other thing that I just want to kind of gently and lovingly remind everybody of, including myself, is just watch that piece of you that tends to lean back into that old space, that old, whether it be old habits, or that, because that's where a lot of our comfort can be. So, if you wake up suddenly and just like, oh, I'm on the moon, everything feels very different. Just kind of encourage yourself, energetically or spiritually, to try it, right? Without leaning back into that space of fear of the unknown, without leaning back into, oh, what if that person hurts me? Or, if it's a relationship thing, or, what if this doesn't work out? Give yourself permission to walk on the moon, to feel that difference. And or to feel that back at that beginning. It's okay to literally hit restart and to try it again. Cheyenne, you mentioning the moonwalk is definitely a huge sign of my spirit guide. Personally, speak of the playful. It got me laughing. I love that. It's just gonna have, and it does feel like this is happening early. Quite often when we enter into a new year energy, we kind of feel all this, this change, or we want to try something different, or do something different with ourselves or in different ways. It's happening a little bit early, and it's happening at a louder volume for me. I just feel like many of us are going to feel like we're back at the beginning, and it's okay. We often, have disappointment, or here I am again back at the beginning. Embrace it this time. Just kind of remember that I said it, because I think it's going to be loud and clear for so many of us. So enjoy your new walk on the moon. I know it sounds funny, but that's exactly how spirit gave it to me today. That's exactly how I felt, and so I have to give it to you as they give it to me. Kayla, I can feel it too, Lana. Yeah. I've also been feeling a career change, lots of changes coming for the collective, I guess. I have absolutely, Sone. There is so much change that's coming in, and and one thing that we tend to lean into, and this is really interesting because I had a conversation with some youth just before the long weekend. I think it was Thursday-ish, about change and how they just kind of for the most part they just kind of, yeah, things are changing. Yeah, it's different today. We kind of need to embrace that more with that go with the flow, and not so much lean back as to, well, with that resistance energy. There it is. Just keep an open heart, an open mind, and try not to push into that resistance with that heck no kind of feeling when it comes to the new beginnings, when it comes to that new change. Because when we kind of listen and lean into that, we tend to go with the flow a lot more. So just if you're a person that tends to lean into resistance, just kind of remember that I said it. Just try that allowing space. I'm gonna put my toe in. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna see if I like it. Leave it if I don't. Just kind of give yourself that space, okay? I think it's going to serve us quite well. And it will help us smoothly transition to where we're supposed to be. And when you think about energy and we think about the school that we're here to learn in, this is what we're all here to do. We're all classmates in this school of earth. When we think about that, when we think about the learning, it can bring us into the space where I don't know if I really want to learn that. And we kind of pull out of it, right? And then the repeat lessons start happening. How many of you can nod your head with, yep, yeah, learning that again, or why is this coming back up for me? There's just something else for us to learn, and that back at the beginning space is going to come in for us, and enjoy it. Just and I'm going to make sure that I'm enjoying that. If I end up back at the beginning somewhere, I'm going to enjoy that go with the flow. Okay, let's take a look at the questions up here today or any comments. Kayla, yes, I love Gen X, Gen Z generation because they don't have any resistance. They're so spiritually aligned with what spirit has asked their other generations to do. Kayla, they are extremely spiritually aligned. And I have been spending as much time as I can with our youth because they hold a lot of answers and a lot of keys. And they are extremely spiritual. And I think sometimes we overlook that because they want to do things differently, and they're supposed to do things differently. They are here to do things differently, and they're here to kind of teach and navigate us while they learn from us too. It's a learning and a shared experience, right? Because we're all here collectively. But 100%, they have such beautiful alignment, and sometimes I think we just overlook that because it's different than what our alignment may have been when we were a lot younger. um Sone, if your spirit animal book is near, can you pick it from me? Okay, let me see. It really resonated last session. I try to always have my books. Look, it's caught up there. So let's see what we need. What do we need to hear? And I open it up. A kookaburra. Okay, so I just have that song going in my head. To manifest your dreams, stay centered, maintain your focus and determination, and let nothing distract you. Be compassionate, yet don't be fooled by anyone who acts casual or lighthearted when you sense they're covering up something other than unpleasant feelings. The best way to overcome your fear is to face it and to do whatever you need to do in order to accomplish your objective. Take a break from your worries and cares by participating in something that makes you laugh out loud. Your You're spending too much time daydreaming and fantasizing rather than taking steps towards manifesting your actual dreams and visions. Wow, I don't think I've ever pulled the kookaburra before, but I got the song going off in my head. I won't sing. I'll save you guys the Lilana singing experience. I hope that that resonates there with you. Um, let's see where I need to go. I'm going to scroll back up because there's quite a few messages here. Jolene, you're so upbeat. Love it. Thank you. Spirit keeps me very upbeat. And spirit is very upbeat. Like they're always pushing that momentum to learn and that fun in learning it. We're here for an experience. We might as well have fun while we do it. Um, oh, a lot of validation on what I've been saying. Well, what Spirit had said this morning. Andrea Banks, I was greeted by a beautiful hawk sitting on the fence outside my back door yesterday morning and a lovely hummingbirds the day before. Hummingbirds were very present for me yesterday, too. I was at my sister-in-law's backyard. She has a beautiful pool and a lot of flowers, and the hummingbirds were all around. It was beautiful to spend some time with them. Let's see where we need to go. A lot of validation on what I've been saying. That's good. Sorry, Alexa. Yes, I've had the urge to completely change my routine and do better for myself lately. And the space I'm I'm in feels different, but it's not a bad thing at all. Changes. And so just kind of keep that in your mind when you're navigating through them, right? Because sometimes depending on how we lean into it, and a lot of it is our own thoughts and our own fears too. Many of us go into a resistance with change, and many of us roll up our sleeves and go, heck yeah. um Spotty, hi there. Are there any messages for me? My dog is currently unwell and I don't know if she'll get better. um When I lean in there, I do feel that the dog's going to improve, but I also feel, and I have to be brutally honest with you here, I feel like I'm going to improve, but then I relapse. So there's something that comes back up with this dog's health for me. I also feel like I need to keep a watchful eye, and I also have to kind of bring your awareness to how much I'm drinking. So either the dog's not drinking much, or there's something there with kidney. Is there anything there with kidney? Because I feel like there is, and I feel like there's a fluid issue. So does the fluid issue make sense to you, Spotty, or water make sense to you there? But I do feel some improvement, but I am a little bit concerned about leaning back into that. So for me, it feels like there may be something chronic that maybe reoccur, but I don't feel terrible. Like I don't have that taken back feeling with it, but I am concerned there. So I have to keep a watchful eye, and of course, follow the instructions from your vet. Oh, by the way, Lana, I got two quick questions. First, is there any way of learning how to physically be able to see my spirit guide? He says I can, but I haven't yet. So one thing with the spirit guide train, that is a really, really good question, is continue building that relationship. I've told the story a few times. One of my spirit guides I had for like 25 years, she came to sit with me during every meditation. And for the longest time, I could just feel her or sense her. And then I got fixated on wanting to know her name. But when you just kind of continue, I know you're here, and continue with your chatting with them, continue asking, continue bringing them with you everywhere you go. It's the buildup of trust. So when you kind of really dive into that deep, deep trust that you're there, that's when we have more experiences. The other thing that I want to touch base on is there are spirit guides around me sometimes and I don't see them. I just know that you're there, right? And it's the same thing when I channel people who've passed. I don't always see them, but I know that they're there. I can feel it. I have that deep knowing, or they're showing me. So continue with allowing the relationship with your spirit guides to be wide open. I don't have to see them. I know that they're there. Really work on your trust factor because they all work differently. And sometimes the biggest thing that they're trying to teach us is that trust piece. How much do you trust? Spirit has asked me that over and over and over again. Do you trust enough to not have all the answers? Do you trust enough not to see it all the time? Do you trust enough not to hear it? Like, do you trust? So build up that trust muscle within. I hope that that helps you. Diane, my guides have been telling me to have more fun, to try something fun every single day. The vibration of fun is huge, and it's important. And the reason that the vibration of fun is so important is that it moves energy. It's natural cleansing. It clears things. Fun kind of gets us in a momentum of allowing, and it also, like I said, it moves energy. So if you're having some sort of fun every day, it kind of shifts out with what's not fun, right? It kind of gives you that space of, I'm just going to put that down. I'm just going to, because there's so much that's not, that we bring our awareness to what may not be going well, or that might not be right in the world. But when we shift out of that, in that, to that fun space, have you ever noticed that you forget about everything else that's going on that may not be perfect in your world, right? So when we lean into that fun, and that's the other thing, spirit is very fun. I have so much fun with my spirit guides. They're constantly bringing me into that energy, and that's the energy that we connect to them very easily in, is that energy of fun. So have fun with your spirit guides, right? And have fun with the journey and the experience, right? Even when it's hard, and Diane, I get what you're saying. I try to do something fun every day. If the day's been kind of serious or kind of heavy, I try to end it with something fun or satisfying for me, right? Just to move that along, to be able to move it on out. So I love that. Um, Arise in Phoenix. Thursday, we got notified that my birth mother, my mom's sister, passed. She was estranged and won't back off me, and she's gone into my mom's body. And it was very. I'm going to read that again. Sorry, I lost the words. Thursday, we got notified that birth mother's, my mom's sister passed. She was estranged and won't back off, and she's gone into my mom's body, and it was painful. How do I get her to listen? One thing that I would do, I would start off with acknowledging. I know you're here and I hear you, and it's time for you to step back. I also feel that sometimes people don't truly understand or learn the lessons till they're gone. So I would simply acknowledge that. I would simply acknowledge it and ask to step back. I hear you. You're going through your own healing. You're going through your own learning, and to step back from that, and to pull yourself back from that as well. If that makes sense to you there. Hope I've explained that to you. Cheyenne, second, do you know any things you can do with the moon water to protect yourself? Do you know any things you can do with the moon and water to protect yourself besides moon water? So one thing is, it's Cheyenne, another good question from you is, it's all intention. So you can ask the moon, or the energy of the sky, or the stars, or anything that you connect with, to surround you in love and light, and to feel it and embrace it. So I do a lot of protection work just based on the work that I do, just to protect myself energetically, and it's set the intention. So whatever you want to work with, whatever resonates with you, whether it be spirit guides or the moon or crystals, or I even use my singing bowl. Sometimes I'll sit and play my singing bowl, and I'll simply say, okay, I want this beautiful vibration and energy to protect me. I also use it to cleanse as well. Um, Moon water you can use as a spray. I sometimes will just simply spray moon water, asking for protection and for love and light, and to keep myself surrounded in that. And I'll also pull in my own energy. I'll go into my own heart space, and I'll surround myself with my own love and light. I hope that that resonates with you. Brian, all of this so resonates with me today. Much love to you, Brian. Kayla, does Spirit have any messages for me? Can you pull a page from your Spirit guidebook? All right, so what does Kayla need to hear? The beaver. This is a time for purposeful and directed activity, not contemplation and procrastination. Balance your activities by providing time for resting and socializing with family and friends. Be aware of wasting time and energy and resources of unimportant matters. So, watch what you're aligning to. If it's not really relevant, or you can't change the outcome and it's not important, and step back from that. That's a powerful phrase there. Don't be busy for busy's sake. Let your actions be focused and intentional. It's time to change your environment in a way that makes you feel more secure and comfortable. Beautiful message there for you, Kayla. Beautiful message there. I love the animal communication book. Jocelyn, where did that message go? My mother-in-law got some bad news about her business. She has to pay out a lot of fines that she had no idea about. It's a lot. Do you feel her losing everything? I don't. I don't feel her losing everything. I do feel though, that business wise it's going to shift. But I also feel as hard as this is right now, I feel like this is going to shift her into a better place. And I know, and sometimes it's really hard to see that when we're in such a heavy or difficult time of learning. But I also think, has there been something with the fines that they're going to take like payments for, or she can space them out? Because I don't feel all of the money going out at once. I don't feel that. Always listen to her accountant or whatever the rules are with that business. But I don't. I just feel like that kind of settles, but it brings her. It's almost like, does your mother-in-law have a very determined energy? Because I just feel this determination. I'm not back. It's a good way. It's a good thing. I just feel like it's going to shift this business into a different direction, in the direction that she needs to go in. I feel like she's going to land softly once she's gone through this turbulent time. I hope that makes sense there for you. Rubab, good morning, Lana. Everything you've said resonated so deeply and feels like a breath of fresh air. Thank you. You're very welcome, darling. Jolene, any messages from my dad for me? I keep, as soon as I started reading that, I kept seeing the sky. I kept seeing like there's going to be a lot of messages up in the sky, but it's also a reference to get that head up. I don't know if you've been looking down on yourself or feeling down or been looking down a lot lately, but he's got his hand underneath your chin with a head up to the sky. I think you should practice that a little bit with just taking a little bit more notice of, I'm going to get my head up and take a look at the sky. I think that you'll feel him a lot more when you do that. But I also feel there's a deeper deeper message there with that, with head up, like that proud feeling, head up. I feel that over and over. It almost feels like a coach. So I don't know if that was your, had like a coaching energy, or if he was actually coached at some point. But it feels very coaching to me. Okay. See where we need to go here. Alina. I'd love an animal spirit reading. All right, darling. Let's see where we need to go. I'm just going to ask what you need to know. All right, the goose. All right, so let's just see when the goose. This is a time of good fortune. Ooh. So be receptive to and appreciative of all good things that come to you. That goes into what I talked about earlier about the relationship with abundance. I love that. Call on your ancestors for their guidance and protection. And once you do so, you'll notice a significant increase in your spiritual awareness. There we go again with what I channeled earlier. Reread some of your favorite fairy tales and legends. Oh, I love that. I love that. And see what new meanings you can get from them now as an adult. Write creative and imaginative stories, either about actual experience you've had or those that are made up. Even though it may not always appear to be so, you're very well protected. I love that. That's a beautiful message. I also love the playful in that. You can see the playful energy again with watching fairy tales or being creative. So I love that. Cheyenne, can I mention real quick how much I love your profile picture? It's unique and stands out. Brian's very unique and stands out. I know Brian personally, and I love Brian, and he is very unique and stands out. Energetically, he has an amazing vibration. So you are 100% in there with that. Okay, let's see. We need to go. Alexa, I love your updates. They always resonate. Are there any messages from Spirit should know at this moment? Alexa, I would like to go back to the animal communication book. I'm also pull a number from the angel number guidebook. Um, what does she need to know? Fox. I actually landed on Arctic fox. So the fox is a I'll read the Arctic Fox first. That's where I landed. Don't let the negative things that others say affect you. Plan for the future by storing up some of your supplies. Welcome the stages of season with behavior. Sorry, welcome the changes of season with behavior and attitude appropriate to that season. I love that. So I'm just going to go back and read the general meaning of fox for you. Trust your intuition and be wary of someone you're involved with who's attempting to trick you in some way. Your intelligence and your intelligence are more useful right now than confrontation and righteousness. It's better for you to remain in the background and exert an influence from that position than take an active leadership role. It's best to blend in to your surroundings, move with stealth, and keep your intentions to yourself. That's a really important one overall. Don't overshare, you guys, too much, right? Keep your whatever you're working on, kind of keep that very private and sacred to yourself. It's really important. It's important at this time to break out of your social conditioning and express yourself more freely. I'm also pulled for an angel number with you, so I'm just going to ask what you need to know. I've landed on 222. Trust that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. I hope that resonates there with you. I do have to watch the times. I have to go to London this morning. Um, So Nate, it's definitely resonated with Milan, especially the last part where you said, I'm daydreaming instead of actual taking steps to manifesting my visions and dreams. Try harder to stay focused. And that's a really important piece of our manifesting is to be able to stay focused on it because and the reason that we kind of lose our focus is because we're very used to things happening right now. I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And when it doesn't happen, we tend to forget, right? We kind of forget to do our either our manifestation practices or we kind of forget to kind of stay in alignment with that. So yeah, that's a really good statement there. Mandy Green, any messages for me? I'm running in circles like a dog chasing its tail. Mandy Greenhill. Um, Number one, and it's really hard to get into that allowing space. But I also feel very, very pulled to talk to you about making space for yourself. So I don't know if you're chasing your tail has been a lot of things about other people, or a lot of things with work, or a lot of things that just keep hitting that repeat button. I feel like I've got outside a lot more as the leaves are falling. So as the leaves start to fall, I feel like I've got to get you outside, and I feel like it's going to be like the release. I can see the leaves kind of falling around you, and I also feel that this winter, you may feel, and I don't want you to think it's a bad thing because it's not, but I think that this winter you're going to pull into more of that hibernating, more of that hermit energy. I feel like you're going to kind of embrace a lot of that coming up into this winter, but I feel like there's just a release. There's something that just needs to kind of, and I feel like it's more than one thing because I can just see the leaves falling. It's time, like, it's almost like you're going through this season change within yourself. I'm also pulled, Mandy Greenhill, to ask what you need from the spirit animal book. um I got the cow. This is a very nourishing time for you, so be willing to partake in all that is offered. You have nothing to worry about as you're well provided for in spite of any fears or doubts. This is a time of mending and healing the relationships, rather alive or with people who have passed. Mother comes up in this one too. This is a time for healing a relationship with mom. And this can be done even from the spirit dimensions. You may wish to work with different goddesses, the Hindu god, the goddess of fortune, as a meaning of being around or assured of your abundance. Sorry. Stand in your truth. And once you've made a decision, don't let others sway you. You may be called upon to make some sort of sacrifice that will benefit for the greater good. Love that. I love that. Good morning, everybody coming in. Good to see some of you joining here. Um, Linda Quinn. When I leaned into that energy there, I was having a listen there, Linda. I really feel quite strongly with this whole. I don't know if you've been going through some purging or some letting go of, but I just feel like he's trying to pull something heavy that needs to be surrendered or loosened. He's trying to loosen. He's trying to loosen up. He's even loosening up your collar. Like, I don't know if you've been like kind of tense or kind of feeling claustrophobic or feeling closed in, but he's trying really hard to kind of loosen that up and kind of like get that deeper breath in. I really feel that there's just he's like huge with this. Get that big breath in, and you can practice that. Taking a big breath and letting it out, giving yourself that opportunity. He's really trying hard to loosen up, like just, and it's just like this I just feel like I need space. I feel like I need to loosen. Does that make sense there to you? He's also talking about the month of April, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. He's also putting me in October as being significant. There's also a reference to either he's been coming to you from dreams, or you've had dreams about him. He wants you to know that he truly is visiting. I'll leave that there with you. I'm going to take a few more, and then I do have to go, you guys. Teresa, lately a lot of anxiety. Do my spirit guides have any guidance? Teresa, I feel like I've got to push you back into deeper into your spirituality. I don't know if you've kind of haven't been doing spiritual practices, or if you haven't been leaning into what you know you need to do, but I feel like you've got the answers. I feel like you it's like you know what you need to do, but I have to get you back on into that routine or into that space. I also feel pushed to get you out. So I don't know if you haven't been as social as you would like to be, or if there's been like a disconnection between, either when I say disconnection, it might just be time related. You haven't had time to socialize, but I feel like I've got to get you out. I feel like I've got to get you out, having fun into new places. I feel like I've got to get you to experience um that new beginning. It's like that whole piece of what I started with, like walking on the moon. I got to get you out into different spaces and different locations, and experiencing and connecting to your higher self, and connecting to those spiritual practices that you already have and already know. Because I can see you kind of looking through your toolbox of spiritual things that you connect with. I can see you kind of seeking in there. What do I have in there that help me with this anxiety? If that makes sense to you there. um, let's see. Okay, what was the connection here? Wesley. Uh, she's likely talking about a city in Ontario, Canada. Oh, London. Yes, that's Wesley's right. I have to go to London to meet my family today. So it's probably about 45-minute drive from where I am. So yeah, London, Ontario. Wesley, you're right. Jolene, I appreciate you, Lana, offering comfort and guidance. Much love. Mandy Greenhill makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Lana, and love and light to you and all that is here. Bless your heart. I love when you guys ask questions. If I ever say anything, you're not sure of, just simply ask. That's what we're here for. Um, I thought she was talking about London, the UK. I wish I was. I have been to the UK and I loved it. Teresa, some validation there. Yes. Thank you, Lana. I have been like a hermit lately. Sometimes it's time to hermit, and sometimes it's time to get out and get yourself moving. I do have, before I let you all go, does anybody have, it feels more of a mother energy, so mom, mother figure. So either a grandmother like a mom, or mom, who was vision impaired. Like I feel like I feel like I'm losing my vision. I also feel the month of June, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. I also have to talk about the month of August being very significant, and I also have to talk about an illness. I feel like I'm in my lungs or my chest area, so lung or breast cancer, or it's definitely chest. I'm finding it very hard to breathe. I also I'm standing in a beautiful garden. I feel like there's like a lot of purple flowers. Like I also I'm seeing they're not. I don't think they're outdoor. Um, I don't know all my plants very well, so you have to forgive me. But there's a reference to African violets, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the color purple, or if there's something significant. I got all these outdoor garden plants around me, and I can smell. I know it's common, but I can smell lilacs and lilac-looking bushes. Um, Alexa, yes. Okay, where are we here? Um, my great grandma passed in August. She had COPD and loved gardening. There's a huge reference to the vision, though. I cannot see. Like I literally feel like I've got a coating over my eyes. So that's going to be very significant with the vision. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to her message, and I'll leave it here for you to pick up. Is she's talking about planting new beginnings. She's talking about you're coming into this new space, and she's trying to help. But like little seeds, you have to look at, like, that you nourish and watch grow. You need to look after yourself and plant yourself, and allow yourself some time to some room to grow, and some room to get your roots down. There is a lot of growth coming here, is what she's showing me. Um, Yeah, she also had issues with her eyes and had to get laser surgery. Okay, so Alexa, if this is resonating with you, ha does the whole planting yourself and giving yourself room to grow and learn, there's a big it's like you're planting new seeds. She's literally like planting new seeds, but it's more of that personal space within you, allowing yourself some time to learn and grow and to give yourself some sun and give yourself some water and giving yourself an opportunity to grow. There's a lot of new growth there. And if this is resonating to more than one person, then take it. It doesn't just take it. Sometimes it can resonate with more than one person, and that's okay. I will see you all later this week. I hope you enjoyed your time with me this morning. Big thumbs up. And as always, love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Take care, you guys.